So to expedite this process so you're not watching paint dry, I've put paint on some portions of this. I don't know if you can see the paint smears right here or not, but let me just show you how it works real quick. So you've got a color, and this could be your OEM color match, or this could be a color from the box. You're at a car dealership, you've got a number of white colors in your box, and you go, well, I think that might be the one that matches.
You just have to eye it up.
You're eyeballing it, so you're like, oh, let's try this one first. So you're going to take this little handy-dandy squeegee right here. You're going to take a drop of paint and put it on the panel like that next to the chip. You're going to take this little squeegee with the bevel side down, and you're going to smear it flat over the chip. You can pick the paint up, and you can repeat that process. You're going to apply another drop of paint. You can pick it up, smear it, pick it up.
Yeah, and so this is very different from what most people know for doing rock chip repair. What most systems and most people do is they take the paint and a small paintbrush and they put a blob into the hole. And then you have a hood full of blobs.
Right.
So the way this thing works is you're going to have a flat surface just like you didn't have the rock chip to start with.
Right. You're going to have a slightly recessed repaired chip that is the same color as the car. It doesn't stand out like a regular touch-up blob with a dabber that's going to catch your eye.
Yeah.
You know, when you have a little dabber, you might have the perfect color match, but you put that on the panel. Now that paint dries, you've got little dots that catch your eye. What happens next is that paint will dry, cure, shrink, crack, and pop out.
Oh, wow.
You're going to end up having a ring of old touch-up paint around the chip.
Yeah.
That looks terrible, you know, within a year or two.
Yeah. So that's the way yours works is with that squeegee, you fill in the hole and then you flatten it over.
It's kind of like spackling holes in drywall. You're putting the paint on, you're pushing that paint into the hole, and you're pulling the skim paint around the area.
Okay.
It dries, and then you remove the excess paint like we'll do in a second here.
Sure.
This paint is also, it's malleable, so you can mold it, sculpt it, and remove it like this. Like regular paint, it dries hard and it cracks, and you can't do much with it.
So this is a proprietary paint system just for your company?
It is. It's not. You can't do this with regular touch-up paint.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way. This stuff will hold its shape, and we've tested up to 10 years. It looks the same in the chip as it did when we first put it in.
Gotcha.
So let me just show you while this paint over here is drying. This is acetone. This is what we use so that we can keep on pulling paint out of the chips and start over. You guys back here, the middle of this panel, which I'll show you in a second, I painted the chip itself. It's a clean repair. There's no excess paint on the surface. There's no blob. But let me show you what it looks like before I painted it. Just to give you an idea of how big that chip was.
Yeah, and so before, my eyes did not even go to that area. I thought, in fact, had you not shown me at an angle where the touch-up paint was applied from 5 feet away, I would have never saw it.
That's the goal. It's not a perfect repair. It's not a magic wand where, wow, it never happened. It's like Brian said earlier, it's a repair. And you're camouflaging that repair to where the goal is to walk by that car and not notice any repair. Not notice the damage and not notice the repair.
And you're stopping rust.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so this other area here is the... let me apply the paint so you can see a little more here. Again, you put the paint on, you smear it flat, even this big one right here.
That's a pretty good sized rock chip.
One application, boom.
Bam.
That paint will dry, and same like I did before, I'm just going to remove the excess, and that's that.
Okay, so now after you've went around and applied the paint onto the different rock chips, how long do you want to let that dwell or to dry before you start, wiping off the excess?
So if you're working on your average car, you're going to have maybe a dozen or a couple of dozen chips. Okay. You're going to start on the left side of your car and dab and smear and work your way across. By the time you're done over here, you're ready to go back and do this. Begin the second step. The second step is with the pink stuff blending solution. This stuff, as you saw, I applied it here. Let me show you. You didn't see that because I haven't done that.
Yeah, we haven't seen the blending solution.
Okay, so this side of the panel here has the paint smears all over it already. You shake this stuff up. I suppose I could use a clean cloth.
Here's a clean one.
Maybe I'll do that instead of using a dirty cloth.
Now this comes in a clear bottle. I noticed that when you shook it up, it was separated, but now it's a uniform mixture.
Correct.
So that's important. That's why you put it in a clear bottle.
You want to shake it, yeah, and make sure it's uniformly pink.
And this is proprietary to your system also. So you couldn't use this with the touch-up paint you buy at some car parts store.
Exactly.
Okay, so
they don't work together.
They don't work, yeah.
The paint and the paint go together. So second step, you get the cloth. This is the blending cloth that comes with the kit, the retail kit, or you get a big stack of them with the commercial kit.
Sure.
So you have a bunch of paint smears now all over this panel. And you can see, I don't know if you can pick that up with the camera, but when I made these chips, I used a bolt and I put big dents in the thing. So the dents will catch your eye even after the repair is done. But to show you the second step, you're going to basically rub over all that paint that we put on the panel. It's like finger painting, almost. We used a squeegee, but any method you want to use to get, not that, that's the acetone. And I'm just rubbing over all this paint smears, light, medium pressure.
And one of the things I noticed is the cloth itself has a flat surface. If you were to use something that had like a loop to it, that might tend to go into the chip and pull the paint out.
Right.
So this is part of the technique, is using this flat cloth.
It is, yeah. You want to use a smooth cloth. Once you get the hang of this, I've seen, years ago I used terry cloth towels or t-shirt rags. You don't have to use these once you get the feel of it. They're not that expensive, but we send those out with our retail kits for the retail customers, because we want them to have the best cloth that they could possibly have to remove the excess.
Now, is this something where you want to use a fairly wet application?
You do. You don't want to soak the cloth. You want to get it damp. But I mean, I've reapplied twice, and that's it for this whole area here. It's plenty wet enough right now. So when you cover an area, you want to work in quadrants. So say this was a whole car. You want to kind of work in segments, partially so you don't miss any paint, because a lot of times, there's smears that I put on it, but you have to get in an angle to see what you did.
Yeah.
So, and worst case, if you come back even a few days later, a week later, you're at a dealership lot maybe, and you go, oh, I still see some paint right there. I forgot that from last week. It's okay. You can still get it off.
Oh, awesome.
You're not stuck with it.